Speedway in Radford, Virginia hosts United Speed Alliance Racing 2001, and we welcome you back to one of the raciest tracks on the circuit for the Kroger 250, presented by Pepsi, and round 11 of the Southern Series. I'm Brian Drebber along with Gene Crane. Mark Allen will be roaming down on pit road, and we've got a real nice crowd on hand here that have joined us, and we're glad that you have joined us here on Speed Vision. Before we get started racing here, we're going to take a look at New River Valley Speedway, a very fine track, and we know you're going to enjoy the competition on it. Gene Crane.
It's got a tight little 4/10 mile, Brian. Little bump over in 1 and 2. That's going to be the story of the night.
Let's go for a lap with Mario.
Well, you evidently wide open. Throttle down, get into one pretty hard. Look, stay up against the wall pretty high. Cut it down the bottom. It's important to make that lead entry to get it down on the bottom, and then pretty much just you can pick up the throttle real hard, and the car will go up to the wall, actually almost run out of racetrack. You see a lot of people scuff the back straightaway wall, all the way back, down the back straightaway. Go in 3 again pretty hard, a little bit high. Swoop it down the bottom, same deal again. Pick up the throttle hard, come off the stripe, and slide all the way up the wall and through the start-finish line.
Brian, what we didn't see there is the bump that's actually up in the second groove. That'll come into play when they get side-by-side racing tonight.
Beautiful countryside surrounding the racetrack here in southwest corner of Virginia, and some of the New River Valley skyboxes. Folks enjoying the race here. Let's go downstairs.
Guys, what a great round of qualifying for this sponsorship. Johnsonville just went on the car of Toby Robertson beginning with this race, and he rewarded them with the outside second row starting position. The man on the inside of the second row is a driver a lot of people are expecting to do well tonight. Mario Goslin, though he has not been to victory lane so far this season, has won this race in the past. A driver starting the outside of the front row is a driver a lot of people thought would be on the pole. Jeff Agnew has more laps on this racetrack than just about anybody else, but the best he could do, the outside of the front row. And the reason for that is the other Johnsonville sausage driver who posted a new track record in qualifying and is our Lance Snacks Pole Award winner tonight. Shane Huffman, how did you do it?
Well, I'm not sure. Just tried to do the best we could there, and we got 2 real good laps in. Just want to thank Lance Snacks for providing this pole award money, and just Ronnie White and all these guys have done a real good job all day, and actually we're right where we unloaded this morning at, so that says a lot about this crew.
Well, Shane does not have a lot of laps in this track. Last year in this event, he broke early. He's hoping to do a lot better tonight.
Our Lance Snacks Pole Award winner, Shane Huffman, and he may be right in saying, I don't know how I did it. Less than a second separated the whole field. The USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series is brought to you by Hooters Restaurants. Hooters, delightfully tacky, yet unrefined. By Naturally Fresh Dressings. It's not just our name, it's our promise. By Jackaroo Sauces. Jackaroo tastes so great they named a steakhouse after us. By Miller Lite, the great taste of a true Pilsner beer. And by Lucas Oil Products, the official lubricant of USAR, and a worldwide leader in heavy-duty and high-performance lubricants. Welcome back as Jeff Agnew's crew makes their final preparations in anticipation of the start here. Again, he has more laps than anybody at this racetrack. At least that's the way we feel. Jay Fogelman also has a lot of laps, and those two have a lot of history at this track, racing against one another in late models. As we said, a real nice crowd on hand. They have packed this place, both front stretch and back. They paid for seats, man-made seats on the front stretch. Some of them drove their own seats here or left a car waiting for them when they would arrive.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Brett Hester from PEPSI pretty happy about getting the honor of Grand Marshal as we fire them up here. 32 race cars are going to take the green flag in just a moment. Mike Laughlin Jr. and some of the others getting set to go. And yeah, look into their eyes tells us they've got their race bases on. So behind the pace car, they'll make a few laps, and they'll go at it in earnest. Huffman on the pole and Jeff Agnew outside. And a real nice looking field of cars. The 23 of Toby Robertson carrying the spicy Johnsonville colors. And the Johnsonville Bratwurst crew of Shane Huffman. You know, they've got a little bit of a head start advantage here with him starting on the pole. So the signal has been given. The USAR officials lined up in the middle of the two lines of traffic as they head out. There's Jay Fogelman in his number 8 car, and some of the crew guys relaxing and getting ready to go. The Naturally Fresh Foods, hey, that thing's full of hot air. Mark, Gene, and I blew the thing up before the race started. Hey, let's take a look at the Jackaroo Sausage starting grid. You met Shane Huffman, Jeff Agnew, and the Hooters Golf Tour car on the outside of the front row. Then it's Mario Gosselin, former winner here, and Toby Robertson in the brand new livery of Johnsonville's Hot and Spicy.
Looking back at row number 3, Thurman Insurance goes on the side of Curtis Davis's 00. He starts 5th alongside Martin Nesbitt. The Blue Cross and Blue Shield number 30. Keith Woody will drive the Cycle Saucery number 83 from the inside of row 4. He is joined by Lee Tissett, the Cars Plus Honda Yamaha of Statesville number 55.
Good to see the Warrior Bill Clements back in the Hooters car on row number 5 with Stacy Purrier and the Naturally Fresh Foods Chevrolet. Then it's Jay Fogelman in the 2-minute warning Ford and Jason Sarvis carrying the colors of Kroger here tonight.
Regan Smith moves south for this race. The Bob Huff Chevrolet number 28 on the inside of row number 7. John Kinder alongside him, the Multimedia Graphics 08. Jimmy McCoy, the Advanced Construction Technology Chevy number 3 on the inside of the 8th row, joined by Hal Goodson in the Taylor Motorsports 45.
John Curley in the Catawba Valley Community College Ford crew goes with Mike Laughlin Jr. in the Carolina Kid Car Ford. Then it's Chad Mullis in the Mullis Drilling Service Ford, and another Ford, the Lucas Oil Products entry of Steve Christian.
Adam Clark comes back for a second round of Pro Cup action in the Richard Petty Driving Experience 43. And Bobby Gill, last year's winner in the Triple Diamond Enterprises number 5 alongside Shane Sieg, the S&W Motorsports entry, along with Del Murphy and the Jack Root Meat Sauces All-Tell 22.
Joe Harrison Jr., the number 57 Harrison's Automotive Chevrolet, fellow Chevy driver Don Satterfield, another veteran, the Hawks Saw Blades entry. Then it's rookie Chris Gordon in the Paxton Stewart Land Company entry, and Neil Browder, another rookie back there in the Mark III Employee Benefits Chevrolet.
Final 4 starters take provisionals. Daniel Johnson, the Happy Hunting Ground number 56. Jabe Jones, after a 3rd place run in Montgomery, starts his 09. Far back in the field, Danny Samus, the Fred Trailer Repair, Hallmark Trailer, Ford, and R.D. Smith on a brand new Hot Rod Magazine Chevrolet.
Hop on board and take a ride with Mario Gosselin and the Carter Grandel Ford Taurus there. As he follows Shane Huffman around on the warm-up lap, you'll be looking over the deck lid of Jason Sarvis in the Black's Tire Service Kroger entry. And that'll be a real nice view, assuming there's anybody behind him, and we know there will be. And then you will be riding with Danny Sammons in the French Trailer Repair number 39 as he starts his car from the 31st position. So a lot of cars are in front of Danny. He'll be trying to work his way up. Honorary starter here is going to be Robin Bennett, and he's ready with the green flag, signaling one more lap to go. Hey, give that guy a job. He knows how it happens. Watching the cars go by right now as slowly as you will see them all night long. Folks in the stands with their scanner radios on, they'll be listening in on the crews, settling in on a beautiful summer evening here in the southwest mountains of Virginia. Shane Huffman with the advantage on the start. He'll control it once the pace car pulls down on pit road. And a nice double file formation on a racetrack, Gene, that we know is going to give some great action going here.
It's always been a very racy track for the Pro Cup Series. Our 4th event here at New River Valley, coming down to green with Huffman and Agnew side by side should be exciting.
Robin Bennett waving the flag with two hands. He wants to make sure he doesn't drop it and hands it over to Rusty Cruz for the remainder of the event. Shane Huffman pulls out to the lead, and Jeff Agnew looking for a spot behind Huffman, maybe looking for a spot around the outside, and already we've got side-by-side racing here in New River. Now Agnew drops in line, Gosselin third.
Looks like about the first 6-7 cars will drop in, nose to tail, the rest of the field flashing by, but some action deep in the pack, some side-by-side racing, everybody trying to juggle for position just a little bit, get themselves set up for a long night here at New River Valley.
Single file up front with Shane Huffman, a couple of car lengths over Agnew with a couple of car lengths over Gosselin, a little bit further back to Toby Robertson. And Shane Huffman's crew settling in with their man in the lead.
Huffman's been very strong here in 2001. Remember back in 2000, couldn't do anything with that number 84. Looks like this year they've got it worked out. He picked up his second pole earlier, and already some action. We've got the 11 of Courier and Regan Smith, one of the northern competitors, right in the midst of it as they go off into turn number 1.
Well, they haven't been able to get single file deeper in the field yet, and Courier leading the parade, going almost 3 wide. We're on board with Jason Sarvis up close and personal there with his cars behind him. Let's see, Jimmy McLean's number 3 car on the inside, going door to door.
Jimmy had a good qualifying effort here today. That car has really started to come around. Just cannot get some of the fronts worked out of it. He's had some misfortune, but has also at the same time had some good showings with that car. Just couldn't put it all together to get it to the checkered flag.
Don't be alarmed by what sounds like a miss there. Again, I think we explained last time that the microphone inside the car just gets blasted by the exhaust note when the driver lets off on the gas, so it sounds like it's missing. On the overrun, it's not.
Pretty good race going on here. Regan Smith, who's here to race for the money. He's not going to score any points in this event tonight because he is a Northern Series driver. He's really giving that number 28 a pretty good run. Of course, Bob Huff Chevrolet, the sponsor on that number 28 just down the road here from New River Valley.
3 Northern drivers in the field here tonight. Bill Clemens Jr., Regan Smith, and Jeff Agnew. Agnew wouldn't miss this one. It's his home track.
He's already given up the spot to Mario Gosselin. It's like Gosselin has gotten by for second, and Agnew, we're starting to see the lines develop here, Brian. See, Jeff Agnew is able to put those left side tires down on the flat. You'll see Jeff, in fact, this is very reminiscent of Lonesome Pine Raceway just 4 weeks ago when he drove the car all the way on the flat there as well.
Agnew now chasing Mario Gosselin, but we sense that this early in the race, Jeff Agnew probably knows that patience is going to pay off later in the race. Curtis Davis up to 4th. Now we look at the second 5 in our USAR field summary here. Lee Tissett and Jay Fogelman rounding out the top 10. On board once again with Jason Sarvis and the 08 John Kinder down inside. Kinder with a pretty good run of finishes here in the 2001 season. He's been very consistent, but not yet to victory lane. Maybe tonight. With the Naturally Fresh Foods balloon high overhead, we'll take a break. We'll be right back to New River. Still green and still Shane Huffman out in front by even more than before. He's opened up a little bit of a gap now that Mario Gosselin is chasing. Gosselin not doing any better than Agnew and closing the gap to our leader.
Brian, here's some of those drivers that are involved in that 34-point spread point battle in the top 5 of the Southern Division. Bobby Gill, who's second, just 2 cars ahead. Hal Goodson's right there. They're all battling. Steve Christian, who is 5th in the point standings coming in. He's right behind Bobby Gill. Everybody trying to jockey around a little bit, trying to get by Mike Laughlin Jr. We'll welcome him back to the series after some surgery 2 races ago, suffering from gallstones while he raced at Lonesome Pine, but he's back with us in the 7 car.
Bobby Gill knocking on the back bumper there of Laughlin Jr. There's Jimmy McLean in the number 3 car. Our USAR field summary again, Huffman, Gosselin, Agnew, the top 3. Not much has changed since we showed this to you the last time. Bill Clemens Jr. in the Hooters car in 8th position, right behind Keith Woody. Things spread out a little more up front than they are here as Hal Goodson works the outside of the 9 car there of Chad Mullis, trying to drop back in line. 2 very different crews, maybe even 3, beginning to show up here at New River Valley. Everybody's finding their own way around the racetrack. Christian down inside on Mike Laughlin Jr., trying to go even deeper down inside as Bobby Gill works the high line.
Shane Huffman has started the lapping process. Joe Harrison Jr. going a lap down, as did Don Satterfield and his Hawksaw Blade #1. So those cars struggling just a little bit here in the early going. Like Mike Laughlin Jr., the Ford, pretty good right now. Said he felt real good getting in the race car earlier today and glad to be back. Looks like Steve Christian right behind him. He's trying to make another trip to victory lane after that win 2 weeks ago at Montgomery.
Shane Huffman out in front right now. What a difference a year has made for the driver of the Johnsonville Bratwurst car.
We've been on a little bit of a hot streak so far this year. We've got a few wins under our belt and everybody's really working hard. We hired a great crew chief in Ronnie White. He's really helped us out a lot.
He's a heck of a talent. I'm impressed by him all the time.
In the future, I hope to be a professional race car driver. I want to make it to the top, but everybody doesn't always get that opportunity.
Well, he's a good, definitely a good shoe. Clean driver, you know, I mean, he drives pretty much everybody how he wants to be driven.
Shane's a good race car driver. He's a fair race car driver.
I'm a very competitive person. I just love being at the racetrack. I love getting out of bed every morning to go to work on the race car. Just as long as I can be competitive in whatever series I'm at is the main objective that I have. That's Shane Huffman.
Shane Huffman led 5 times in 4 different races, a total of 450 laps before this one. So we can add 30 to the total as we look at our naturally fresh Mountain Spring Water leaderboard. Shane Huffman out in front and untouched so far.
Been a good run here in the early going. Keith Woody, who's got a infrequent schedule here in 2001, had a good qualifying effort and is maintaining a run there in the top 10.
Of course, we remember Woody the Cowboy taking a few wild rides on the dash of Keith's car in the past. As we look at Jason Sarvis in the number 92 car there, also having a nice quiet run so far, just in front of Joe Harrison Jr. and Don Satterfield, 2 of the terrific veterans in this series. And now Jeff Agnew's car, which apparently was set up pretty well for long runs, is starting to look like retaking the number 2 spot from Mario Gosselin.
He's speaking to the inside of Gosselin off the corners. Just can't quite get a run on Mario off the turn now. Gosselin a little wide.
Let's go downstairs for a report. Mark Allen down on pit road.
Guys, everybody here expected Jeff Agnew to be in front early based on his past experience at this track. 20,000 laps of competition here. So far, he's sitting back there in the 3rd spot. I checked with his crew. They said there's nothing wrong with the car. For now, he's just riding.
And back to race action here as Danny Salmons comes under assault here by the 2nd and 3rd place cars.
Saw Agnew trying to get to the inside of Mario there for just a moment. Damage to the right front headlight door and the side panel at number 73, but not enough to incur any type of concern from the crew.
On board with Danny Salmons, watching Gosselin and Agnew disappear into the distance. Salmons, starting deep in the field, has gone a lap down early in the race.
We've got all the hottest merchandise here at the Hooters Pro Pit Circuit. Stay tuned.
Right back where we left you, on board with Danny Salmons in the number 39 car. Pretty good handling race car. He seems to get kind of driven off out of the corners there. Maybe he's down on power a little bit or can't get in the throttle quite early enough. We'll continue to listen to Danny and see how he does, maybe make some progress. Now we're on board with Mario Gosselin. No problem here. He's driving pretty much anywhere he wants to on the racetrack and seems to have plenty of ponies under the hood.
Like he's going to get by Chris Gordon. Let's go back real quickly to Salmons. Remember, Danny Salmons destroyed that car at Montgomery in an incident over in turn 4. So they're still trying to get the bugs worked back out of that number 39.
Our USAR field summary, add another 10 laps to the laps led by Shane Huffman. Not only career, but here tonight, Toby Robertson running in 6th position. And the top 10 are all still pretty much the same. Nobody's made any major advances into the top 10, although Bobby Gill and a few others in his company are heading that way. There's Shane Huffman, as we mentioned, has led 450 laps. Only Sean Studer up north and Hal Goodson here in the Southern Division have led more laps than Shane Huffman in 2001.
Still a good battle for second between Gosselin and Agnew. Deeper in the field, though, heavy track.
Agnew looking underneath, and I can't help but noticing the similarity between the racing line of both Jeff Agnew and Jay Fogelman. They're both driving down with at least 2 wheels down on the apron, and they know that in a long run or by the end of a race, that might be the fast way around this racetrack. So as we watch Agnew, you can see how low on the track he is, and when we look at Jay Fogelman, you will see the same thing. Speaking of Jay Fogelman, Mark Allen has a little bit more on the driver of the 2-minute warning car.
Guys, one of the drivers we're watching closely is Jay Fogelman. He's a past winner here at this track, but coming in here, he had flu-like symptoms. Got a few drugs earlier today. He said, it's the best I've felt in 3 days. He said, I can get to the finish. I just got to be able to get to the front.
Well, he is heading that way. Whoa, Lee Tissett, come on back, Lee. He gathered it up there, and you can see then that Jay Fogelman driving with all 4 wheels down on the apron in this part of the racetrack here. Lee Tissett in the 55 cars plus entry. He's been a pretty consistent driver all season long.
Still very loose off the corner, though, Brian.
The invisible man, we were calling him for a while, but it seems like we've had plenty of looks at Lee Tissett lately. Here is John Curley in the Catawba Valley Community College, number 44, with his young crew of students working on that race car, carrying race scan on the hood. And again, Jason Sarvis in the 92, the Kroger entry this week.
Had a good run. He went up and ran in the Northern Series up in Jennerstown last Saturday night. Came home third there at a wild finish that saw Jeff Agnew pick up the win there in the Northern Series competition.
Hal Goodson and John Kinder riding nose to tail right now, and Stephen Christian there along for company with Bobby Gill. This is a very interesting pack of cars all trying to head towards the front while they race with one another.
Only 9 points separated Hal Goodson and Bobby Gill. They tried it 3 wide off of turn 2. John Kinder just hanging on. Of course, he had another good run at Montgomery. A very happy run for the 08 team as they posted a top 5 there. So everybody right in this group has been very competitive over the last several races.
Our Goodyear full field summary now shows you a few cars a little bit deeper than we have seen. Stephen Christian, the 16 car in 16th place. That'll be a nice easy way for us to keep track of them. Chad Mullis, Del Murphy, you can see a lot of rookies deeper in the field here. Jay Jones, who had such a good run last time out. And Joe Harrison Jr. and Don Satterfield, unfortunately at this point, kind of bringing up the rear.
This racing that's going 3 wide between several of the drivers that are in the top 5 in points. These guys are going to have to settle down a little bit. They've still got 5 championship races to decide that $1 million, and where you finish in the point season in the Southern Division will determine how good of a start you have going into those 5 final races.
We're going to have a black flag for the number 39 car of Danny Salmons. We noticed, and now the USAR officials who have also noticed and hoped it would go away. A little bit of smoke coming out from under the right side near the front of the car, so the crew's going to have to go to work and check that out as they jack it up. They've got tires ready to go on. Perhaps they're going to take advantage of the situation, change right side tires, and maybe improve the handling as well. So Bobby Gill down inside on John Kinder now. And as we mentioned, with Hal Goodson and Stephen Christian, this has been a very, very entertaining little battle going on deep in the field. So we're going to take a break right now, let Danny Salmon's crew do their work, watch the leaders for you, and be back in a moment. The Hooters broke up Kroger 250, presented by PEPSI at New River Valley Speedway here, round 11 of the Southern Series, as we begin to think about the end of this season, which of course will be our 5 championship events, the 4 Champions Challenge it's called, that will determine our season title winner. Hal Goodson and Stephen Christian. Christian driving very low on the racetrack. Goodson finding the fast way around, just a car width higher. Both of them getting it done.
They're side by side. Looks like Bobby Gill has decided to check out from that battle and try to gain a little bit of an advantage, at least some room on the racetrack from those two, as they've been going at it rather strong for the past 10 or 12 laps.
Christian now edging ahead of Hal Goodson, and apparently the low line is the one that's working better for him. Jeff Agnew running in second position there on the number 73 car behind Shane Huffman. Huffman with 7 top 10 finishes and 3 wins in 10 races has definitely had a season to remember, whereas previous ones he might have wanted to forget.
More strong side-by-side action as Steve Christian was able to run down Bobby Gill, and they thought again about going 3 wide down the front stretch. Bill Clemens Jr. is there, along with Keith Woody. Both those drivers battling for position. Oh, everybody out of shape there off the corner.
You don't get any closer than that as Agnew's having a look underneath Shane Huffman. He's finally run him down. And Agnew, with all his experience here in New River Valley, has figured out that patience will pay off, that a setup that works after 50 laps or so is what's going to happen, and he has now taken the lead over Shane Huffman. In spite of some traffic in front of him there, Daniel Johnson desperately trying to keep from going a lap down. And Agnew is your new leader here. The fans are on their feet because one of their own is out front now. Agnew leads. Regan Smith in the 28 car, the Bob Huff Chevrolet, so good you have to say it twice. Just went a lap down to the leaders. Daniel Johnson trying not to do the same.
Jeff Agnew pulled a very smart move there. Rather from the start of the race running that car very strong, he just took his time and let the traffic allow him the opportunity to run down Shane Huffman. It looks like it's worked very well so far. He's out front looking for a second win in a row.
I would say traffic and a very fine handling race car, is now Huffman trying to match Agnew's pace, is getting a little bit out of shape here and there. Daniel Johnson now has gone a lap down at Happy Hunting Ground number 56. And he is pinched in between first and second positions right now. Going a little deeper in the field, Mario Gosselin still running in third spot. Del Murphy in the number 22 car is just behind him, but Murphy has also gone a lap down to the leaders. And circling very slowly is Jimmy McLean in the number 3 car, the Advanced Construction Technology Chevy. Definitely off the pace. Keep track of him. There's Regan Smith running kind of lonesome on the track. There are probably 10 or 12 cars that are very good, and everybody else is going to really want to make some adjustments when and if they get a caution and when they go down pit road, because they have to at least once.
For an opportunity to get those Goodyear Eagles. Now we've got to wonder about pit strategy. 250 laps. Do you pit early? Do you pit late? We've seen Agnew use the late strategy, trying to have fresh tires at the end. He came up short at Lonesome Pine after that long green flag run left him only 30 laps to get through the field and back up front.
Well, Gene, you and I both know that rule number 1 is pit under yellow, and so far, no opportunities. There are more than a few race cars out there that are hoping they can get down pit road. They're going to have to go down sooner or later because they're fighting very, very big handling problems.
It's all part of the strategy with the Hooters Pro Cup Series. The drivers qualify their cars race ready. They're not allowed to change shocks and springs or adjust the timing of the motor, change gears.
Well, problem. And it is the 43 car of Adam Clark that goes around and gives everybody now the opportunity to go down pit road. Might be a little early here. We're just over 70 laps into the 250 lap event. And Adam Clark doing a good job to keep that car off the wall, but everybody's slowing down now behind the leader, Jeff Agnew, Shane Huffman, and Mario Gosselin, the first 3, of course. And it'll be interesting, as you mentioned, to see whether this is the time the leaders go down pit road or whether they're going to wait for a while. Let's take another look at what happened there. Oh, Kinder, maybe some contact, and the 78 of Neil Browder on the outside. Around she goes. It's nothing.
Yeah, Clark had been loose a couple of times off the corner. Don't know if he had to backpedal a little bit. And John Kinder just ran up on him a little too quick, but nonetheless looks like some contact.
Well, it answers the question about whether some of the leaders are coming down pit road. Mario Gosselin is there. The crew is going to work on the right side of the race car, and Mark Allen is present as well.
Mario Gosselin, our third-place starter, is the first among the lead cars to come to pit road. This is a little bit earlier than they wanted to come in, but they've decided to make their adjustments now and go for track position.
So the crew having a little bit of a problem there on the left side. Getting the jack under and the car up. Hal Goodson is there as well. Now we're starting to see some of the other cars come down pit road. Bobby Gill and quite a few more back there on the entrance to pit road. Dews and the crew.
Bobby
Gill,
stalled it.
Yep, stalled the car. Now they got to give it a push. They do, and he gets it refired. And Bobby Gill taking that rather calmly now. Puts his arm out the window and says, okay, no problem, guys. We're ready to go. It looks like with a new baby at home, Bobby can't find the razor this week.
Baby needs new shoes.
Yeah, he's got that bad guy look going there. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Cassie.
And I'm Emily.
Welcome back to the Kroger 250 on Speed Vision.
At Radford, Virginia, in the southwest corner of the Commonwealth, we are under yellow, and you can see the lead lap cars on the outside, those not on the lead lap on the inside, and right now it's just about even, as we have had such a long green flag run that a lot of cars have gone a lap down. Now, some of them have had a chance to make adjustments, and we'll see if they improve. This time it's Rusty Cruz with the green flag in his hand, and we are racing once again. Del Murphy got a nice start there and has his lap back, technically speaking. Now he does, and maybe now he still does. He still does as he crosses the stripe. He's technically back on the lead lap by a half a car, and now he isn't.
Yeah. Agnew a little loose there off the 2, trying to get it wound up. He knows that Shane Huffman has got a pretty good race car. And look, Jay Fogelman has made his way up to 3rd already.
Well, a combination of drivers in front of him that stopped and Fogelman that did not. Neither did the 2 leaders, Agnew and Huffman. That may have been a pretty good strategy because Jeff Agnew's car is still very good. The crew knows that they've been having the watch on him. He's not slowing down. Tires are good, and he's pulling away from Shane Huffman, who's now come under some pretty serious attack by Jay Fogelman. Fogelman, who started 11th through a combination of racing and pit stops, is now 3rd. Competition back here in the field. Jeff Agnew doesn't want any part of it.
Like Jay is able to try to look to the inside, just can't get the car hooked up enough to get by Shane Huffman. This time out of 2. Looks like he's got it now.
Yeah, give him a couple of laps, and he does. He had position. Now he's got the lead over Shane Huffman for 2nd. Murphy falls in line 4th on the track, but again a lap down. Likewise, the 23 car not a lap down. Toby Robertson's had a nice quiet run. Started 4th, kind of fell back a little bit, and we're on board with Jason Sarvis once again. You can see that the car has a little bit of an effect on the camera, too, as you look over the deck of the Black's Tire Kroger entry. There's Hal Goodson on the outside of the 78th. Neil Browder. And Fogelman now putting some distance on Huffman. Jay Fogelman, let's see if he's got anything for the leader, Jeff Agnew. And we're going to go downstairs for a report from Mark Allen.
Colin, you decided to come in on that first caution well before lap 100. Why did you come in then?
Well, we're a little bit off night, Taylor Motorsports car. We're having a hard time passing. This track's real hard to pass, so we figure we come on in early, get our tires, then everybody else have to come in behind us and have to put us up front. So we're going to try to give it a shot. Tonight we're a little off. We got to do something.
All right, well, Mike Laughlin Jr. down on pit road under green is a much worse situation. The car's just sitting there, and the crew's kind of looking at it. They're not doing much.
Just prior to qualifying, they had to go in and change the oil pump on that number 7, and that may be the case right now where perhaps the motor has suffered some damage from that oil pump earlier in the day.
Winchester Cathedral. The Cathedral of Speed in Indiana is going to be the next race, the Lucas Oil 250 up north. And that is always a fun place to go. Winchester Speedway. Northern Series resumes action in alternating weeks with the Southern Division. That gives a lot of the drivers who choose to do so, as 3 of them did here, go race for the money, but not for the points.
Pretty tough battle with the 45 of Hal Goodson. Gets alongside Lee Tisson. They bang fenders for just a moment. Tisson's still getting bounced around like a pinball out there. Daniel Johnson, but Goodson able to get by and continue on.
Now, we just saw the rear of Tisson's car do a little dip, and that's the bump you were speaking of over there between turns 1 and 2. And it's in a very specific place on the racetrack, and it will upset the car a little bit if you get in there just not quite right. Those driving way down low don't get anywhere near it. You can see about halfway up the racetrack in the dark part of the groove there that little bump is present. Board, Mario Gosselin. Gosselin's also among the drivers who elected to pit under that very first caution, 73 laps in honor of Jeff Agnew's number 73. We had a caution. Whoa!
Trouble.
Shane Huffman heading up. And we have another caution out on the racetrack as Shane Huffman is just pulled up out of the racing groove and all but stopped.
Trying to make that hard left to come down pit road.
Something is
that
definitely.
Car's not under power.
No, he's definitely got a problem coasting down the banking there, using the 15 degrees in the turns to get himself to pit road, and coasting all but to a stop. We had a nice little battle going on there between the Johnsonville cars, and I was about to put my money on hot and spicy because that's the way I like it. And what do you know? Shane Huffman's Johnsonville Brats car now needing Ronnie White and the crew to push it back down to the pit stall. A look at the countryside that surrounds New River Valley Speedway, and beautiful countryside it is. We'll be right back. Well, the crews are working down on pit road. The 84 crew is going to cross their arms and take it easy for the rest of the night because Shane Huffman is out of the race, and he's downstairs with Mark Allen.
Well, Shane Huffman's got 3 wins so far this season in the Hooters Pro Cup Tour. Tonight will not be number 4. What happened, Shane?
It just appears that the front of the crankshaft broke off the motor. I've seen that happen a lot. I don't really know what the problem is, you know. We just need to take a look at it and, you know, kind of as a series, get this problem fixed. It shouldn't be happening, you know. It's just, we got great motor guys, and, you know, it's just happened a lot. We've seen it happen a lot this year. Just want to thank Johnsonville Bratwurst and everybody involved. Ronnie White, we had a great car, you know. We're just going to try to make it to a halfway stop and make a few changes, but we won't get that opportunity tonight.
Tough break for Huffman, 4th in points coming into tonight, but there have been some problems with those crankshafts. We've seen it not only in the Fords, but several times in the Chevrolets as well, and it's not anything specific to one particular motor builder.
So no victory lane tonight for the real Slim Shaney as we get back to green flag racing here very shortly. One item of note, Hal Goodson is going to be at the front of the line of cars that are a lap down. He lost a lap in the pits, and that's a tough break for Goodson, who has also been to victory lane multiple times this season. Let's watch the restart and see if he tries to get it back. You know he's going to try. Let's see if he does. Dead even with Agnew coming off the line. He's got position out front right now, and Agnew drops into second on the racetrack. Hal Goodson is on the tail end of the lead lap and pulling away.
Goodson came in as the point leader, and you've got to wonder if that wasn't a deal made between the two crews, because Jeff Agnew is racing for the win here tonight. He's not going to collect any points for his efforts here at New River Valley, so he may have just let Goodson go on by and get back in the lead lap to let that points battle even itself up again.
There are a lot of professional courtesies that are extended throughout the world of sports. Curtis Davis sitting down on pit road with his new sponsorship, Thurman Insurance. Couldn't buy a policy against bad luck here tonight. We'll track that down and see what's going on with the 00 cars. They go under the hood. Not good.
Not good at all. It's been an up and down season for Curtis Davis here in 2001. Some brilliant runs, but it's been hampered somewhat by these misfortunes from time to time with that car.
Well, the determination of a hard-working young man and a very good race car driver is not enough to overcome bad luck. So, back to racing action now. Most of it going on around Jeff Agnew, the leader. Jay Fogelman starting to knock on the doors. We look at our Goodyear full field rundown. Lee Tissett in the 55 car in 6th position. John Curley having a good run and now in 10th. Bobby Gill 11th. Worked his way up, then stopped, and now he's going to have to do it again. And you can see the rest of the field here in our Goodyear full field rundown. Curtis Davis scored in 25th position. He is now off the racetrack. He had been running in the top 5.
Lead battle keeps intensifying from time to time. Agnew's car will jump just a little bit off the corner and get sideways and give Fogelman the opportunity to get alongside, as it does right now with Toby Robertson. What a run he's having back there in 3rd.
Nice and quiet, but very confident. Up front, it's Fogelman with position on Agnew. Let's see if the New River Valley veteran gives him any room and gives up this easily. Fogelman definitely position. Agnew still fighting back on the outside after we've seen him race down low all night so far. His car works anywhere here in New River Valley.
If there's one driver that knows how to use that upper groove and make it work to his advantage, it's Jeff Agnew, who 1 year ago had a rotor brake on this race car and destroyed it up in turn 1.
Regan Smith down on the inside, but we've got another report right now from down on pit road with Mark Allen.
Steve Griffin, you brought Mario Goslin in on lap 71 a lot earlier than a lot of drivers have been coming in. Why did you do that?
Well, I think pitting early is going to be the strategy here tonight. The tires, they don't fall off so bad here. And we just wanted to pit early and get ahead of everybody else. And this Carter Grandel Ford, I'll tell you what, this car's been a good car the last 4 races, man. And we're looking for a good finish here tonight. We'll be there at the end.
All right, well, we will indeed see if the early pit stop strategy works out, as Mario Gosselin's car is working just fine. Thank you very much. Driving down low and looking for another spot on the track, right on the apron. Being the grass if that pavement wasn't there, that is not officially part of the racetrack, so to speak.
Looks like those fresher tires working out to his advantage. He's able to get by Mark Nesbitt, who stayed right up there in that top 5, right around that 5th, 6th, 7th position, right there where he started. Doing a great job here tonight. Yeah. That particular car, as is Toby Robertson.
Yeah, give a nod to both of those drivers, and we have not done so very much, but both Mark Nesbitt and Toby Robertson driving very quietly and competently. John Curley having a little something to say about how quiet the race will be for Nesbitt as he moves down inside and takes the 55 of Lee Tissett with him. So Mark Nesbitt, who was good early, is now losing spots. Here comes Bill Clemens, the Warriors. And they touch. The two very good drivers continue on without any further incident. And we've got a problem, though, as Keith Woody takes the 83 car around, brings out our 3rd caution of the night in the Cycle Sorcery entry. Gets it refired, but with the nose up against the inside wall, he's going to have to put it in reverse or spin it around. That's what he did. He spun the tires a little bit, got it pointed the right way, and he continues around the racetrack, but not before bringing out a yellow flag. So let's see if pit stop strategy is continued here as we take a look at what happened to Keith Woody. Oh, Puryear hard on the brakes, tried to stay out of the back end, but couldn't.
Bobby Gill to the outside, yeah.
Yeah. Keith Woody with minor damage to the car after getting touched ever so slightly by Stacy Puryear there, and another one of those situations where it looked like a driver kind of checked up and the cars behind weren't able to slow down enough. Jay Fogelman goes down pit road and takes the 2-minute warning Taurus to the attention of his crew.
Like Kinder in right behind him as well, going to do right side tires.
Here comes Puryear, but Mark Allen's with the 23.
Toby Robertson in for what he hopes will be his only pit stop of the race. Early on, when he was falling back a bit, his crew chief told me that he had actually heated up the tires and the brakes, and they just laid back, letting him cool off, and his car as well.
Toby Robertson waiting quietly for the crew to do their work, then he will punch in and go back in an effort to try to win here tonight. Dews and the guys getting the 5 car in and back out again. That's the 2nd time they've been down pit road. Fogelman pulls out just in front of him. They all stop behind Mario Gosselin at the end of pit road until they get the signal that they can go back out onto the racetrack.
Hi, my name's Jessica.
And hi, I'm Angie.
And we're from Hooters of Roanoke.
Stay tuned for more Hooters Pro Cup racing.
Welcome back to New River Valley Speedway. A tire just waiting to get into the action. Let's go to Mark Allen.
Guys, here's an update on our defending event champion, Bobby Gill. He came in on lap 71. He just came in on the lap 113 caution. I checked with his crew chief. He said we made a tire adjustment the first time to try to go longer. He said the second stop we came in and bolted on 4 tires were not very good. All we're trying to do is get a good finish. The question I want to pose to you guys is, how many times have we heard that before and Gill ends up battling for the lead at the end of the race?
Okay, Gene, now I'm scrambling for my notes here, and I have that we've heard that 47 times before, okay?
But it's not a case of the little boy that cried wolf, is it?
No. No, Bobby's good. You know, you put him in your stuff, he'll beat you, and in his own stuff, he's pretty doggone good. And we're on board right now with the 39, Danny Salmons, Fred's trailer repair entry. Where at the back end of the field, stands on the gas. You know we're going green here. Lap 117, dangerously close to the halfway mark in this race. And Agnew leads Christian, Gosselin, Curley, and Tissett right now.
Clemens, Nesbitt, Sarvis, Goodson, and Johnson. Remainder of the top 10. Quite a battle here.
Yeah, well,
off the corner, Christian goes in the lead.
Yep. Steven Christian takes the lead. Regan Smith trying to stay on the lead lap. You're on board with Mario Gosselin. Carter Grandel, Ford Taurus. 3 on the dash in honor of Ford. Regan doing a a good job of keeping his lap back, and again, that professional courtesy that the drivers extend to one another. Shane Huffman over talking to some of his friends on pit road, who are consoling him, no doubt.
Over there with Lee Tissett's crew, Gary Lambert, the entire team over there. Win him cars as recent as the Pensacola Five Flag Speedway.
Well, I
borrowed
know
a car and had a good run for them.
a lot of courtesies on pit road as well as out on the racetrack among these professionals. Mario Gosselin now working inside on Agnew and has the spot. So Jeff Agnew's car going away a little bit here, and he's the one who needs to go down pit road. Bobby Gill's done it twice, and the car looks very good here based on. Oh! Ouch! Oh,
Lee Tissett, hard shot.
Oh, I felt that one up here. Rusty Cruz flags him down, and Lee Tissett is a mess down inside the racetrack. He's okay, but the car is just a mess. The left rear is just totally destroyed. The tire is all but gone. Tissett moving around, the window net coming down, and the steering wheel is off.
Brian, that's the side that didn't hit the wall. So, you know, man, he took a shot.
And the fans are taking that rather calmly. Here's what happened. Bang! There's the damage we see. There's the damage that happened to the left rear. And kablam!
Like Adam Clark had nowhere to go. Clemens squeezing the 55 up to the outside wall. Looked like maybe Lee jabbed the brakes a little bit.
Oh.
Adam Clark right in that left rear.
The right rear took a shot on the outside wall and again on the inside, and fans are talking about that one. A lot of them had a close-up look. 43 car of Adam Clark damaged on the right front, as you would expect. The petty driving experience number 43. We are under caution. The good news is Lee Tissett is walking away, mad but okay. The USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series is brought to you by Hooters Restaurants. Hooters, delightfully tacky yet unrefined. And by naturally fresh dressings. It's not just our name, it's our promise. And by the Fairfield Inn, a Marriott property. Halfway is going to happen under caution, and there's some young fans who have a late model driver getting ready to race here this evening. Hi there. Yeah, Speed Vision, that's where we watch Hooters too. Your halfway leader is Stephen Christian, who stayed out on the racetrack to collect the cash from Lucas Oil Products, ironically enough his own sponsor, and some more fans filing in and looking for their seats. Now Christian ducks down pit road, cash in the pocket, to the attention of his crew. Guys going to work. Here comes the 43 of Adam Clark right in behind him. They'll have a little bit of extra work to do on the right front there as the big guy bodywork team goes to the effort of the fender.
More than 4 tires, Brian, on Christian's car.
Now there is what we have been calling the skyboxes. People actually leave vehicles parked here all season long, full. They have the lawn chairs and all their gear in there, the barbecue grill, the hibachi, the charcoal and everything else, and they just come and set it up and go. Miss New River Valley Speedway has been so busy with her duties that she is asking what happened. So we're going to tell you the Lucas Oil Products halfway recap. Robin Bennett waving the flag at the start of the event that saw pole sitter Shane Huffman go out of control the first 64 laps of the race. And then New River Valley veteran Jeff Agnew had something to say about that. On lap 91, race over for Shane Huffman as the front of the crankshaft came off the motor and he was done for the night. Then on lap 104, Jay Fogelman challenging for the lead with Agnew, and they had a nice race going, but Agnew reassumed control. And then we were on the verge of another caution here as Stephen Christian quickly got the lead on the restart, but soon thereafter, Lee Tissett banged into the outside wall. Adam Clark got him out of shape down into the inside wall, and the caution was out when Stephen Christian collected the Lucas Oil Products halfway award. Then he ducked down pit road, and that's where we are right now. So we have a new leader, Mario Gosselin. Jeff Agnew in second position. Around the pit stops to shuffle things around a little bit. We'll do the best we can to bring you up to speed as we go back to green on lap number 130. That makes 120 to go to the finish. Gene, boy, I'm quick.
Yeah. John Curley and Bill Clemens also right there in the top 5 after these rounds of pit stops back under green.
There's your field summary, and you can see it looks a lot different than it did a while ago. Mario Gosselin out in front leading this race, has yet to win a race this season. He won a single race last year, but he is still the all-time win record holder in USAR Hooters Pro Cup action.
By 1.
Yeah, over Bobby Gill.
Yes.
Bobby Gill has done it in just, what, 2.5 seasons or something like that?
50 races.
Yeah, 50 races, 15 wins.
Correct.
And Mario Gosselin career has 16 since the Hooters Pro Cup Series began. Once again on board with Danny Sammons and the Fred's Trailer Repair number 39.
Looks like they got that that oil line fixed they had problems with earlier and had to come down pit road under the black flag. Like everything looks pretty good for Danny Sammons.
They also have the car handling much better. Danny looking very relaxed behind the wheel, and he's making some progress. He's got a lot of work to do. Downstairs, let's hear from Lee Tissett.
Well, Lee, I think the first piece of good news is that you're standing here talking to us, but that was a pretty good lick.
Yeah, that's the hardest I've hit in a long time. I don't know what Bill was thinking. He been trying to get by me, and you know, I was holding my line, and I slid up over there trying to get by that lap car, and he got under me, and we went over here, and he just drove straight up the track. I thought I had it there, and then that 43 got me from behind and turned me down the track, and I hit hard.
Once again on board with Danny Sammons. We wish Lee the best, and we're sure that he'll come back with a vengeance next time.
Hi, I'm Melissa.
And I'm Mindy. And we're from Hooters of Roanoke.
And you're watching the Kroger 250 on Speed Vision.
No shortage of Hooters Girls fans here at New River Valley Speedway, and we're watching some good racing all over the track. Stephen Christian there, definitely trying to head towards the front with Stacy Puryear, in his mind anyway, in the way. Both of them get by Danny Sammons. Here's our field summary. Gosselin, Agnew, Curley, the top 3 now. John Curley has made a nice run. Daniel Johnson is now a lead lap car, along with Hal Goodson, thanks to the caution brought out by the 55 of Lee Tissett. Those guys have managed to get their lap back, and Regan Smith, who went a lap down, is looking like that's going to happen for him too. So very good race cars that through a series of misfortunes went a lap down are now recovering nicely with plenty of time to do it. Watching Stephen Christian collected the Lucas Oil halfway award, went down pit road, and his crew made that car very good.
Toby Robertson just ahead, showing in 10th. It's the worst we've seen him all day long. It's been a great night for the 23 car of Robertson.
Well, he's got to carry
really stepped up.
Yeah, he's got to carry the Johnsonville colors now with Shane Huffman out of the race. He's doing it very well. There's Mario Gosselin, the leader. Super Mario is looking that way again here tonight.
Like he's able to open up a little bit of breathing room between himself and Jeff Agnew. Agnew again using the safety apron of the racetrack as the fast way around. Still several more drivers testing that particular groove.
Sun getting lower in the sky here. The track temperature is probably cooling off. It'll change the characteristics slightly. There's John Curley of the Catawba Valley Community College, number 44. Driver/instructor at the college with his crew of students. There's the 83 of Keith Woody, and the 23 of Robertson, and the 16 of Christian, all going at it for position. Now Christian thinking about high line, perhaps. And Robertson goes up and takes it away, stays in front. Now Christian's got a nose alongside, and the 83 of Woody might be holding one or the other of them up. Yeah, spun the car, and Keith Woody is now pulling away. There's Bill Clemens, the aforementioned Bill that Tissett referred to. Clemens, a Northern Series driver, running very well up north, and when he comes back down south to race with his pals, he does a real good job there too.
Looks like Steve Christian finally able to make the outside groove work and get around Robertson, and sets his sights on Keith Woody. Woody was pretty sharp there when he spun, was able to get the car restarted just before the leaders came by, and did not lose a lap, and that's Been a remarkable night for it, you're right.
Good job. The 139 of Shane Sieg, the S&W Motorsports Ford, up on the high line there is Daniel Johnson in the 56 Happy Hunting Grounds car. Goes door to door with him. Our Goodyear full field summary now is going to show you where everybody is. There, Keith Woody is in 10th position now after Christian went by. Johnson 8th. Toby Robertson in 11th, but moving on up. Martin Nesbitt, who was running top 5, is starting to recover a little bit as well.
R.D. Smith started shotgun on the field. He's up to 18th in the 179.
Brand new car for him out there in the number 179 Hot Rod Magazine Pontiac.
That's now a Chevrolet. They changed the body on that car.
There you go.
3 wide.
Oh yeah, that's what we like to see. 3 wide racing at New River Valley. Should mention that Mike Laughlin Jr. In our Goodyear full field rundown is out of the race, and problems for the number 7 car on his return after surgery. Mike's fine. The car just wasn't very good, as it turned out.
Yeah, they had to bring the backup car. If you remember at Lonesome Pine, they wanted him to have surgery on Friday afternoon before the race.
John Curley way off the pace,
and they were in the top 5, running 3rd.
Yeah.
They wanted Mike Laughlin to have surgery the day before the race. He went racing, wrecked that car real bad, had to use the backup car to come back this week.
We're hearing ignition problems for the 44, but Mark Allen's heading that way to get to the bottom of the mystery as Don Satterfield goes another lap down. Mark.
John Curley's crew is heading behind the wall. The problem with the former top 5 runner is that they've got a broken rocker arm. They're going to try to fix it and get him back out.
Okay, well, the crews are always guessing until they get a chance to actually have a look, so they were guessing ignition. I hate those electrons. Sometimes it turns out to be something else. In this case, broken rocker arm there behind the wall. They'll do what they can. No problems for Mario Gosselin. Clean and green here at the Kroger 250. Jeff Agnew's crew looking on as we are on the home track of the driver of the NGA Hooters Golf Tour car. Mario Gosselin is leading it, however. You're on board with Mario. Looking at the outside of Adam Clark's slightly damaged number 43, the one who got in to lead Tissot. Tissot's out of the race, and Clark is still doing okay. Inside on the 78 of Neil Browder, the Mark III Employee Benefits Chevrolet. And there they are from high atop the press box here at New River Valley. Bobby Gill has intruded himself into the action and is right behind Mario Gosselin. Now I would ask the question, how many times have we seen that before? Gill and Gosselin, the eye of the storm, but you can add another G. Oh, we got a caution. And that is going to be Hal Goodson. I was just about to mention Hal Goodson, point leader. The 3 Gs, Gill, Gosselin, and Goodson. Goodson had a little bit of an incident there. Crunched up the back end of the 45. Taylor Motorsports Carlin Financial entry.
Remember, he got himself back on the lead lap after getting by Jeff Agnew. So,
looks like the night might be over for Joe Harrison Jr. too, as the 57 crew is getting ready to push him behind the wall. Sasquatch helping him out there. Late model cars getting ready to go a little bit later on. And for some people, that's the featured event here. Certainly for Jay Fogelman and Jeff Agnew fans, they've seen those 2 drivers go for a lot of laps at late model racing here at New River Valley. And now Jeff Agnew heads down pit road with Bill Clemens for company. And as Agnew goes to the pits, Mark Allen is heading that way because that's where the big news is going to be happening. So let's get downstairs. Mark Allen.
Jeff Agnew, a 4-time track champion, a man with more laps in this track than anybody else, needed this caution. This was the one thing that Bobby Gill did not want to see. They wanted to see if somehow the race could go the rest of the way green. But this track usually gets about 8 cautions per Pro Cup event, so that was unlikely.
Well, his first pit stop for Jeff Agnew comes very late in the race. Mario Gosselin will hold the lead, and Hal Goodson is still down on pit road.
Don't you dare go anywhere. Stay here for more Hooters Pro Cup racing.
Back in Radford, Virginia for the Hooters Pro Cup Round 11 Southern Division, the Kroger 250 presented by Pepsi under caution brought out by Hal Goodson. How good has Hal Goodson been this year? Only once did he qualify out of the top 10. Only twice did he finish out of the top 10. The 3 Gs, Gil, Goslin, and Goodson. Goodson's been as good or better than any of them. So Chris Gordon's name starts with a G. He needs to get with the program, and then it'll be 4 Gs.
Well, he's had a pretty good string in terms of laps completed here in 2001, but it's been a little tough here tonight. He starts on the inside row right behind Adam Clark for this restart.
Rusty Cruz waving the green. Mario Goslin out in front. Here's our naturally fresh Mountain Springwater leaderboard. A lot of familiar faces up there. Toby Robertson running in 5th position, carrying the Johnsonville Bratwurst Hot and Spicy on his car. The bright red 23. Just a little bit off the pace of the front 4. Now Bobby Gill working inside on Mario Goslin, has position. And if that car is junk, as Dews and the guys said it was, that's some pretty good junk running out there.
It always seems to work out that way, doesn't it, Brian?
Yeah, well, Bobby Gill has a way of making chicken, you know what, look like chicken salad, doesn't he, when he's behind the wheel?
That he does. He can get the job done, but so can the rest of these guys right behind him. Jay Fogelman, who, as far as New River Valley is concerned, he comes up for the big races, or used to come up for the big money races in the late model stock division and walk away with a $10,000 to win or a $15,000 to win paycheck. They used to really hate seeing Fogelman roll into this racetrack, so he's somebody we've got to watch. He won the first time the Pro Cup Series came to New River Valley. He's pressuring Gill pretty hard, but you can't forget the 10-car Mario Goslin, because Goslin really needs to post a win for his efforts here in 2001.
Well, you've got 2 drivers whose babies need new shoes up front right now. Make it 3 with Steve Christian, as Fogelman with twins at home. Bobby Gill with a brand new baby back home. And Steve Christian with a little nudge, it appeared. That's the only explanation for why he went around so quickly. He sure gathered it up in a hurry, didn't hit anything, and he's faced the right way and didn't even lose but just a few positions on the racetrack. Let's take another look at this. Another example. Goslin in a little too deep. Christian on the brakes a little early, and around he goes. Now they're going to bring, the USAR officials are going to bring Mario Goslin down for a stop-and-go penalty based on that incident. It was not worth capital punishment, but he is going to get a little penalty. So the fans are kind of chatting about that one as they settle in for the closing laps of the race here in Radford, Virginia. We'll be right back. Hooters girls working the crowd here, and they're smiling about that. Right now, though, we're going to go downstairs and hear from Mario Goslin's crew chief with Mark Allen.
Steve, what might have been a win for you and the Mario Goslin team tonight has just gotten that much more difficult. Why the stop-go penalty?
Well, apparently we got into the 16. I couldn't see it from here. I don't really know what happened. And, the Carter Grandel Ford, it's treated us good tonight. We lost the power steering from the get-go, and Mario's just having to hang on, and we're just going to go with what we can get, man.
Can you get back to the front?
We're going to try. I think we still got a chance for a top 5.
Well, what happened, I would file under one of them racing deals, as the King is fond of saying, and everybody else is added to it whenever something like that happens. But nevertheless, the USAR officials said there was contact, and they brought Mario down for a stop and go. Whether they can get back to the top 5, well, that's a pretty tall order, Gene, considering how relatively few laps there are to go and how difficult it is to make up a lot of positions on the track.
They've got lap traffic also to deal with down on the inside on these restarts. So it's going to take him a few laps to let the field string out a little bit and try to run his way back to the front. Also got to remember, Jeff Agnew was on pit road with 90 laps to go. He's also trying to make his way through the field. So it may be that those two are able to hook up and move through the field a little easier with Dale Murphy.
Dale Murphy, lead lap car, sitting down in the grass right now in the Jackaroo Beat Sauces number 22.
Restarted and able to continue on.
Well, once again, the caution is out at New River Valley. So we went caution-free for 70-plus laps, and let's take another look. Ooh, looks like Jimmy McLean certainly...
If he didn't get into it, he had a heck of an opportunity to do so.
Well, I think there was a little bit of contact there. And again, we've seen a lot of difficulty in that part of the racetrack where there seems to be just enough difference in speed, entry speed, or mid-corner speed even, that contact is made. So there's R.D. Smith and his Hot Rod Magazine Chevrolet, and some fans enjoying the race from a nice quiet spot. Hi there. New River Valley Speedway is getting hot and heavy here pretty quick. Upcoming schedule, we mentioned Winchester Cathedral of Speed in Indiana. Then our second visit to Hickory, Illiana for the northern drivers, South Boston on August 18th, and then up to Cayuga for the Northern Series drivers, as we are definitely winding down towards our championship series. The regular season is coming to a close and the playoffs are about to begin, and all these drivers are trying to get as much advantage in the points as they can going in to that 5-race series at the end of the season.
Right, looking at the line on the outside on this restart, those cars in the lead lap, looks like we've got about 16, 17 cars that are still in the lead lap and possibly in contention to try to pick up a win.
Bobby Gill with the lead, Jay Fogelman on his back bumper, and Toby Robertson has regained third position as we look at our naturally fresh mountain spring water leaderboard. Martin Nesbitt also quietly has moved himself back up into the top 5 with Stephen Christian. There's Stacy Puryear, who has gone a lap down early in the race, has had some problems here tonight in the naturally fresh number 11. There are Nesbitt and Christian running 4th and 5th with the 92 of Jason Sarvis just behind them.
Been kind of a quiet night for Sarvis in that 92. Again, gosh, just 7 nights ago up there in Jennerstown. And Brian Vickers sideways at the start-finish line, sparks flying off his car as he tried to hold off Jeff Agnew. Agnew only led 1/4 of a lap, but he led that quarter and that lap that really paid the big money.
That's right. On board now with Sarvis and the Kroger Black Tire Service entry. Jason Sarvis, another driver having a nice quiet night, and you get the feeling from watching Bobby Gill and some of the others, Hal Goodson, that a quiet night is what does pay off at the end of the year. If you go out there and create a whole bunch of fuss, things are not likely to go all that well. There's Toby Robertson, has found himself a nice big empty spot on the racetrack to run in third, see if he can gather it up and go after the leaders in the closing laps. Nesbitt likewise, and Christian's getting a little bit of challenge from behind, but everybody else is spread out around among the 5 leaders. Hot and spicy bratwurst. Johnsonville colors on the 23. Got a real good finish in Montgomery in the last time out. His best of the season. He's running 1 spot better here tonight so far. There's Jeff Agnew in that Hooters NGA Golf Tour number 73.
The lap car Shane C directly behind. Looks like he is taking good use of those fresh Goodyear Eagles, fresher than the rest of the field, trying to work his way back to the front.
Doing a good job of getting up there. He's made some major progress. Our Goodyear full field rundown with 50 laps to go. The top 5 are there. Agnew's running in 7th just behind Sarvis. Kinder also very quietly up into the top 10. And here you can see a few of the drivers that have had some problems. Most recently, Hal Goodson with an incident that has put him back outside the top 10. A lot of rookies. Don Satterfield has moved up after he and the 57 car were bringing up the rear of the field there, bringing up the tail end. See, there's been some attrition among the 32 cars here tonight. On board with Mario Gosselin. And we will take you to commercial break with that look, and we'll be back to New River Valley in just a moment. Inside 50 laps to go at New River Valley with Jay Fogelman and Bobby Gill going after each other big time. Here is Toby Robertson trying to hold off Martin Nesbitt. Steve Christian a little loose, and that's going to give Jeff Agnew the open door. Nesbitt goes inside on Robertson. And we've got lots of racing going on here as laps wind down. Third place battle. Martin Nesbitt with the advantage down low. Going to take the spot, and Toby Robertson falls in line behind the number 30 Blue Cross Blue Shield entry. Martin Nesbitt. Whoa, Nesbitt a little loose coming off the corner there. Hey, these guys are picking up the pace in the closing laps. And there's still Agnew too. A lot of good racing. There's Jeff Agnew's crew looking on. They've seen a lot of races here in New River Valley. Pretty calm. Everybody holding the stopwatches. Checking on the lap times, making sure the tires are still good, and they are. Agnew now working on Toby Robertson with those fresh tires. Jeff Agnew definitely the quickest car on the racetrack right now, and you can see that he's taking advantage of a 10th or so per lap. Jay Fogelman working the inside on Bobby Gill, driving down on the safety apron. He's alongside. A battle for the lead. Gill's going to be credited with that lap, but we're not sure how many more, as Jay Fogelman is definitely working him over. Coming up on a little bit of traffic, Don Satterfield knows they're there. He moves down onto the apron and lets them both go by 3 wide briefly. And I think Gill's still going to get credit for leading the lap.
You know, Brian, there's about 20 other drivers in this field that wish they had a car that was as ill handling as Bobby Gill's right now. Good race up front.
Bobby Gill and Jay Fogelman, 2 different lines around the racetrack by far. Martin Nesbitt third, Agnew, then Toby Robertson has slid back into 5th position. Christian Sarvis, Bill Clements Jr., John Kinder, and Hal Goodson is up into the top 10. Gill and Fogelman, this is probably the best race on the track right now. And it's for the lead. Here's a pretty good little tussle going on too, as Agnew is going around the outside on Martin Nesbitt. He worked the inside line to gain a couple of spots, and he can drive that car anywhere he wants to. Oh yes, hello Jay, hello Bobby.
Calling card there coming off the corner.
No question. Good, hard driving by 2 of the best. Bobby Gill, the 2-time defending champion of the Triple Diamond Enterprises, number 5. He's the sheriff in this town. If the town is Hooters Pro Cup racing. And yes, he is a wanted man, not only for a championship, but as it turns out here tonight, it looks like for a win. He is fighting with everything in his bag of tricks to stay out in front of Jay Fogelman. John Kinder and Hal Goodson for position. Goodson's trying to take it, and he does. John Kinder in that Multimedia 08. Out of Santa Ana, California, as we have mentioned several times, Japanese-American heritage, a California driver, has decided to throw his hat in the ring here in the Hooters Pro Cup Series and go where racing is in the blood. There is number 86, Chris Gordon in the Paxton Stewart Land Company Ford, and he allows Fogelman to slip by into the lead. He was kind of holding up the leaders there for a while.
That allowed Jeff Agnew to close in as well.
Yeah, Agnew is down on the low line, and he might take the spot from Bobby Gill. Gill is stuck up on that high groove, and they've been waving the flag at Chris Gordon for a while right now, that blue and yellow move over flag. That flag that tells you, if you don't already know, that the leaders are coming up behind you.
You got to be careful of that this late in the race with those leaders trying to race for a win. That blue and yellow can turn black on you. And
it just did. They're waving a black flag now at Chris Gordon. As Jeff Agnew works on Bobby Gill down on the low line, we've seen him make passes low. Then we saw him make a pass high on Martin Nesbitt. Now we're seeing him work the low groove on Bobby Gill. There's Rusty Cruz with the blue and yellow flag and those fresh tires on Jeff Agnew's car, and there the black flag is. They're going to make Chris Gordon come down pit road for a stop and go for failing to yield to the leaders. USAR field summary, 30 laps to go. Your leader is now Fogelman. Kinder has dropped back to 10th thanks to Hal Goodson. Bill Clements Jr. still holding on to 8th. Stephen Christian and Jason Sarvis going after it for 6th place on the racetrack. We're under green, but we have to take a commercial break. We'll give you one last look off the deck lid of the Kroger entry of Jason Sarvis. River Valley Speedway is alive with action because 2 of its favorite sons are racing for the lead. Jay Fogelman and Jeff Agnew have dispensed with Bobby Gill, and it looks as though they are prepared to settle the issue between the 2 of them.
Jeff Agnew, fresher tires with that of Jay Fogelman, so Jay's going to have his hands full trying to hold off. The young man from over in Floyd, Virginia is just down the road.
Fogelman and Agnew coming up on a little bit of traffic. Fred's Trailer Repair entry there, once again, of Danny Sammons. He's seeing the blue and yellow flag and drops down to the low line to let the leaders go by.
Brian, a year ago when Agnew hit the wall after destroying a brake rotor in practice, he told me earlier during the day that he thought that was the thing that was the best thing that ever happened in his Pro Cup career here of late, because that's when the turnaround came. They put a new clip on the front of the car, and suddenly the car would turn in the middle of the corner, and Agnew was back in the ball game.
He tore up a couple of cars here at his home track that night. He borrowed one, tore it up, had to go back to his own car and try to fix it to get it. Oh, we got another caution coming out on the racetrack. Don Satterfield, He almost only counts in horseshoes. And he almost missed that big tire down there protecting the end of pit wall. So, the lights are on in the pace car. Jay Fogelman draws up behind it. And we're going to have the closing 20 laps or so begin with the pace car on the racetrack.
Comes down to a Saturday night shootout here.
The Hawk Saw Blades #1 heading around the track after recovering a little bit. We're going to go downstairs. Mark Allen with the report with one of the crew chiefs involved.
I guess the obvious question with Jeff's car looking so strong is how wide can Jay make his car to keep the lead?
Pretty wide. I think we're getting a little loose, and I think Jeff's also getting loose. So I don't know. We're just going to try to hold him off and try to win this thing. I tell you, Jay's doing a heck of a job to be sick, not feeling good. We'd really like to win this race tonight.
Don Satterfield kind of all alone on the racetrack. Got in a little too hot, or coming off the corner, maybe in the gas a little too early. Spun it around and just backed it down to the pit road entrance. Back downstairs to Mark Allen with the other of our contenders crew chiefs.
Doug, is it a matter of time for Jeff to take the lead, or is Jay that good?
You know, you can't take nothing away from Jay Fogelman. His car's good, you know. We got a big advantage on Jay because we pitted real late for tires, and we're beating him pretty bad on the stopwatch. But, you know, we want to pass him clean. We don't want to knock him sideways and go on by him. But, you know, we got 20, 30 laps left here, so there's plenty of time. We're just going to take our time and try to work our way by him and get a victory here for Eddie Asbury and NGA and Kowalski Race Engines and everybody involved.
43 of Adam Clark down on pit road. Their crew going to the attention of the left side. If Jay Fogelman, how wide can he make the car? If it's a little loose, it's a little wider. Under caution at New River Valley Speedway, and everybody knows the tension is rising and the thermometer is about to blow out the top here in the closing laps, because these are the ones that count, and they're going to get a run and start at it from behind the pace car. And you have to figure that the fans have seen this before a few times. Jay Fogelman and Jeff Agnew with Bobby Gill in third position. Anything can happen. We're back to green with 17 laps to go in the race.
It's like Fogelman able to get a pretty good jump on Agnew, but Agnew right in the middle of the corner able to steer through the corner and close it just a little bit.
Here's the way they line up for the closing laps. 17 to go. Christian, Sarvis, Clements, Goodson, and Kinder the top 10. Top 5, well, you've seen them. Martin Nesbitt is there. Fogelman, Agnew, Gill are the top 3 right now, and they are using very different lines around this track. Jay Fogelman's got the wide load sign on. We heard his crew chief say he's good at that. Got a lot of racing going on behind him, too. Move over flag being raised once again for Danny Sammons. Kind of stuck there in front of both Martin Nesbitt and Toby Robertson. Here's Jay Fogelman trying to hold off Agnew, whose crew chief said we're going to try to pass him clean. He's inside. Not yet.
3 cars are broken away. They're going to have clean racetrack for a while.
Inside
Agnew again.
Yep, inside again. He's trying to get up. Yep.
Just can't get the rear tires to hook up.
Having a little forward bite problem coming off the corner. Jay Fogelman, meanwhile, is driving and carving a very smooth line in and out of every turn. High on the racetrack, the 86 of Gordon. There's no caution yet, and maybe no caution at all, as Gordon is still moving, waiting for the traffic to go by so he can duck down. Fogelman and Agnew had that little part of the racetrack taken away from him briefly. Agnew once again sticks the nose down inside. chirps the rear tire ever so slightly coming off the corner. Trying to hold on the brake and the throttle at the same time. He is all over Fogelman. And, Chris Gordon making it down onto pit road just in time as the leaders pull up off the corner and go by. Bobby Gill keeping a nice safe distance, or maybe that's as good as it. Oh, and now the 78 of Browder.
We'll stay green.
Yep, we're going to stay green. Man, these guys want to get to the finish. They don't want any more cautions coming out on the racetrack. Agnew with his probably best run at Fogelman, but Fogelman still drives it off. And there's the reason that Chris Gordon was trying to get to pit road. Cut down a tire up high on the racetrack. Maybe cut down a tire and then went high up on the racetrack. Could have been going down for a while. Now Agnew trying the outside on Fogelman. It's not working any better. Jay Fogelman is driving so smoothly and on such a defensive line that Agnew has to go where he doesn't really want to go and where his car doesn't quite work all that well. Look at Fogelman pull up and cut the track off in front of him again.
All Jay has to do is bobble once, and Agnew's going to be right by him. Really giving quite a challenge.
Oh, the
fans on their seat, they're loving this.
They're on their feet and leaning over for a better look. And a lot of fans know these two drivers very well. They've got a lot of history here at New River Valley together.
Agnew doing it the hard way, up on the high side. He's alongside.
Oh, not much room
really
up there, but he's using all of it. Yeah, the crew saying, come on. You know his spotter's telling him clear and then pulling it back. Because he is not clear by any means. Not clearly even alongside Jay Fogelman.
Traffic coming up too.
Yeah, there's Don Satterfield, moves over again. Courteous veteran driver. Knows he's not in a position to affect the outcome of this race here tonight, so he's just going to get out of the way.
Jeff's
Agnew,
the advantage.
yeah, Agnew, oh, they touch. They touch and keep going. Right rear to left front, and now Fogelman comes through, and they touched hard that time. And Agnew's crew is livid. Bobby Gill's going to take the lead, but we're going to have a caution in the last 3 laps of this race. The fans are on their feet now, just about each and every one of them. Well, there's 2 young fans that don't quite know about the history between these two. They touched right there and kept going, and then Fogelman just gets into the left rear of Agnew's car. Can't tell if he just couldn't get stopped, couldn't get slowed down, but that was definitely an incident. Here we go, another angle. Boom.
Right up in the left rear, yeah.
Intentional or not, we may never know, but it was effectively giving Bobby Gill the lead and maybe the win here tonight. Let's go downstairs for a report in the 8 pit.
What a turn of events. The top 2 cars both having trouble. They said they'd race each other clean. It is a flat left front tire for Jay Fogelman.
Jeff Agnew still out on the racetrack. Fogelman's crew working on his race car, and you can see that the fans, some of them are very vocal about how they feel either one way or the other about what has just transpired. And with Bobby Gill in the lead, they wanted one of their own drivers to win this race, meaning 2 of the favorite sons of New River Valley Speedway, but instead it's going to be Bobby Gill, a 3-lap shootout to the finish.
Fogelman came back down pit road to acknowledge a stop-and-go penalty.
Not only did they have to work on the car, but they penalized him as well. Nesbitt with a look inside on Bobby Gill.
Well, what a story would that have been if Nesbitt would have been able to pull that pass off.
And nothing doing. Nesbitt's best opportunity may have just passed. White flag, lap, and Bobby Gill with a 3-car length lead is going to be hard to touch.
Toby Robertson right there in 3rd. It's going to be his career best.
And the best finish in the history of Johnsonville hot and spicy sponsorship at Hooters Pro Cup. How about that? Bobby Gill takes the checkered flag, almost an anticlimactic victory, but he will equal the win record of Mario Gosselin in Hooters Pro Cup. And Gill has once again returned to winner's circle. Let's go downstairs. Mark Allen is with the Deuce.
All right, Deuce, you said this car was junk most of the night, but guess what? Junk just drove to first.
Well, it was a 3rd place car at best, so if you don't have the best car, man, it helps to have the damn best driver out there. we was just hoping to hang on for third, and it looked like Jay Fogelman took a little exception to the 73 car passing him, and that's all we needed, man. The seas parted open, and there we were. So.
Took exception. That's one way to put it. And we'll be back for the celebration. The USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series is brought to you by Hooters Restaurants. Hooters, delightfully tacky, yet unrefined. By Naturally Fresh Dressings. It's not just our name, it's our promise. By Jackaroo Sauces. Jackaroo tastes so great they named a steakhouse after us. By Miller Lite, the great taste of a true Pilsner beer. And by Lucas Oil Products, the official lubricant of USAR, and a worldwide leader in heavy-duty and high-performance lubricants. Jay Fogelman and Jeff Agnew involved in a late race tussle that has the fans on their feet and booing. So it's to a chorus of boos that Bobby Gill climbs out of the race car to celebrate a victory here tonight. He'll take the gift, and here's Mark Allen.
Well, I've seen a lot of victories in racing, and that was one of the more improbable ones. With 10 laps to go, what did you think your chances of winning this race were?
Well, I didn't think we had a chance to win, but the 8 car and the 73 car, they've been wanting to win some races. They won a couple, but they're both hungry for a race, and the 73 got under 8. I don't know what happened. Then he got by him, then the 8 just drove in there and knocked him out of the way, so I don't know what the problem was, but hey, we'll take them any way we get them. This Triple Diamond, Ford, Automotive Special, Billy Hess, the crew, I can't think enough of the crew and all the guys. We didn't really have the car to win. We just wanted to finish third and come out here leading the points.
Well, you've lost races this way, and now you've won them this way. His 4th victory of the season.
Bobby Gill on top. Took a while to get back there, but there he is. The sheriff is back in town. Our final results, Martin Nesbitt inherits 2nd place. Toby Robertson was legitimately 3rd for a while and ends up that way, again for the Johnsonville Hot and Spicy. Zarvis Clemens Kinder with another top 10. And you're looking at the rest of the results. Jeff Agnew finishes 11th, Jay Fogelman 13th, after it looked like they were going to go 1st and 2nd.
Now Keith Woody right in there as well, Shane Sieg, Del Murphy, Neil Browder, Stacy Purrier, R.D. Smith with a brand new car.
Danny Sammons, we got a lot of onboard looks from him. Finished in 25th position, we did, riding in the passenger seat. John Curley, Lee Tissett having some problems that took him out of the race. So did Curtis Davis. And Mike Laughlin Jr., first guy out, 32nd place finisher. Back downstairs to Mark Allen.
Jay, it was a wonderful last 20 laps, and then all of a sudden something went awry there. What happened from your perspective?
To be honest with you, Jeff Agnew and myself have been friends for a long time. I don't want to talk bad about anybody, and I'm not going to talk bad about anybody. Jeff knows what happened, and I know what happened. And Jeff's running for points in the north, and I'm running for the south. And when you're doing that and you're not in a points race, what happened tonight shouldn't happen. I'm just glad for the sponsor. Everyone had 2-minute warning that we could run up front and get some TV time tonight. And that's basically all I have to say about it.
Miller Lite Rookie of the race, Toby Robertson, started 4th, finished 3rd. That's his best finish in the 23 car.
Talk about a team that's on a high. Toby Robertson, you pick up a sponsor for the next 3 races in Johnsonville Sausage, and you post a career best finish. They don't write scripts much better than that, do they?
They sure don't. I got to give all the credit to my crew. All day long, they worked hard. We changed stuff all day long. I got a new spotter the last couple of races. We finished 11th, then 4th, and now 3rd. We're on a good tear. We just want to stay with it. Johnsonville Hot and Spicy Bratwurst has been great to us the next 3 races, and we're looking forward to going to Hickory and see what we can do with it.
Points, and this is the way the handicappers have them stacked up for the championship at the end of the season right now anyway. Gill reassumes the points lead over Hal Goodson, and you can see the rest of them lined up. This is the way they will start at the end of the season based on points, and we'll tell you more about that in just a moment. Let's go back downstairs.
Well, everybody's got a few battle scars tonight, but a man wearing a big smile is 2nd place Martin Nesbitt, a career best finish. Just before that final restart, what thoughts were you harboring of possibly getting that first career win?
Well, I tell you, Bobby's as good as they come on the restarts. It really kind of shocked me. I don't know if he missed a gear, spun the tires, or what. I got a run down here and just had to pinch the car off so bad. I ran out of racetrack and had a bad angle off. But, you know, going to the green, I think the first thing is don't lose 2nd. The second one's if you can get a run on 1st, go after it. We got a shot at him. That's all we can do. I don't want to get into anybody win my 1st one. So we'll take second and be happy with it. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Virginia, they were on board this weekend. GlaxoSmithKline, Coca-Cola. I got just so many great sponsors. I just can't say enough about them. They stuck with us this year. We've got now two top fives out of the last 3 races, I think. And going to some good tracks that we're going to run good at, and we're trying to build momentum for the end of the year.
Career bests for Nesbitt and for Robertson. Bobby Gill equaled his career best of first, coming from 22nd in his our hard charger tonight.
Jeff, you put a heck of a show on getting back toward the front, and it looked like getting into the lead. Obviously, the question that everybody has is what happened?
I don't know. I was in front. Just like to say, man, that the NGA Hooters car was running tonight at our hometown track. Just hate it for all the fans. You know, we brought a lot of fans out tonight, and it's just a shame. You know, we tried to run him there for, I guess, 30 or 40 laps, and tried not to get into him. We might have bumped once, and once I got up beside of him going down the back straightaway, I don't know if we got hooked together, but it seemed like we couldn't get apart. And then once I got out in front of him, going into 30, I really don't know what happened. I mean, you know, as a driver, you stand here and you say, well, he just drove plumb over me. But, you know, hey, look, I'm just happy we got a great car, got a great sponsor with the NGA and Mr. Brooks, and all my guys has worked so hard and stayed together so long. Mr. Asbury that owns the car, just like to thank them all.
Well, the one thing about the Hooters Pro Cup Series with the North and the South Division now, it's not long before there's another race.
Our Carolina Kid Car Crunch Award has to be Lee Tissett.
Oh, absolutely.
He tore it up pretty bad, ended up being out of the race. Everybody else kept most of the fenders on here tonight. And we're already looking forward as the late model drivers get ready to go here. The fans already got their money's worth. They're going to get a little bit more at New River Valley. Our next TV date, the Lucas Oil 250 from Winchester. Join Rick Benjamin and the guys Thursday, August 2nd. And speedvision.com when you can't join us on the air for all the information about everything. Racing, Bobby Gill's crew celebrating a victory, and the driver getting the victory kiss with the new baby and mama. Then he enjoys Victory Lane with the crew and the Hooters girls. Our thanks to Carolina Custom Golf Carts and all the rest of the folks whose names you see at the bottom of the screen. And go to USARProCup.com if all you want to know is about Hooters Pro Cup racing, because it's as good as it gets. Thanks to the Fairfield Inn. And congratulations, the sheriff is back in town, and yes, indeed, he is #1 again. For Gene Crane here in the booth, and for Mark Allen down on pit road, I'm always going to thank you at home for joining us. I'm Brian Drever. So long, everybody.